All right, what's up, everybody? It's Mac. I've been away for a while, but I'm going to go over my trades from today, Wednesday, March the 5th, 2025. I did take my first payout of an account on Monday, small, only $200, took the minimum from Alpha Futures. They kept 30% because the first two payouts are 70% split. So I got $140 out of that, covered the activation fee. So now I'm back to trading that one and some evals to get to 3 funded accounts. So let's go over today's trades. So we sold off pretty hard in the early hours here from 6 a.m. to 9. Started to come back, went neutral briefly. This was the open candle, and then the very next candle is a sell, and it had a bearish body, but not a huge one, so it wasn't too deep of a sell. So I kind of liked where it was. And you can see I got a terrible fill on this one. This should have been, 407, and I got filled at 450 even. So entered. There actually was no drawdown for my entry. We started plummeting. Very quickly hit the 1-to-1. I go to break even. We start coming down here. We're over 1.5 to 1. So I start to move my stop up, and then it starts to come back, and then it comes back down. So when we hit the 1R again, I just instinctively trimmed one of my 3 contracts. I didn't really think about it. That wasn't my plan, but I trimmed one. So then once I trimmed one, I left my stop where it was. It was at about 20 points in profit. And then I started to move my target down. So I'm going to move my target down some, and then it very quickly hit the target. And actually, because I trimmed and didn't take the full position off, I actually only made about 330 instead of 360. So I missed out on $30 on this play because I trimmed and was moving stop. I was meddling with the trade. If I just left it alone, it wouldn't have come back to break even and it would have hit my target. So that's on me for not following the plan. Just enter, go to break even at 1-to-1, let it hit the target. So anyway, you see how it hit a bottom, wicked and came back, and then the next candle engulfed. So if I was trying to shoot for too big of a target, this would have been a stop out or a break even at the best. So engulf up, close above 21, engulf right back down. This is a perfect bearish engulfing. This entry could have played out, but that's not in the plan. Once we close above the 21, we got to have something else happen. So there was also news today at 9:45 and 10. So once I got this win, I was not interested in trading around this time frame. So then we come up and go neutral. We closed above VWAP and the 21, but then engulfed right back down, and we're coming back down here. So now this candle started to print a sell, but then wicked back up. And I told everybody in High Strike right here, like, if this prints a sell, we're not taking it. I'm not taking it because in this area, we wicked up once and then we wicked up twice. So this has been a bounce zone 2 times. So you see right here, this next candle printed a sell, but I put this X here. I did not take this trade. I put this risk reward here just to show you if you'd entered, boom, that's a stop out on that first candle. And then we come back up above the 21. So we stayed neutral for a little while in this chop zone, and then we did the exact same thing. We come down here and we signal sell. This is pretty much exactly at the previous low of day in this same zone that has bounced. So once again, don't take it. Here's what would happen. You get a little bit in profit, and then you're stopped out. So that's been one of my new rules. Like, if an area has been support or resistance 2 times previously in the same trading session, it's probably going to stay a support. And it stayed a support. It got a little bit down here. So it did eventually come down and hit the target, but that's after being stopped out, way up here. So that's one of my new rules. This was support level, same area support level. This wicked up was support level, so there was no reason at all to take this trade. And same thing. And this was actually a huge candle from 355. This was nearly a 90-point candle down, so there had to be some pullback with it. So that was not one to take. I did not take either of these two trades. So now we come above the 21, go neutral. Now we're crossing over. So we're getting the flip to a bullish trend here. So here's the first buy signal. And you can see I did take this one because this was very similar to what happened yesterday. Yesterday was pretty much a mirror of today's. Like we sold off, bounced, sold off, bounced, sold off, bounced, then flipped and went green. And then the green one yesterday was a win. For whatever reason, this decided to be the pullback. Now, before I took this, when this one started to signal, I was looking, okay, this was a pullback. That didn't go 30 points. This is a pullback. That didn't go 30 points. None of these pulled back 30 points. I'm like, okay, this looks like a good win. And then, of course, we enter, and this one pulls back more than 30 points before launching off. Like, if we just held off on the signal and gotten it right here, like if this candle could have been the signal, it was a win. So anyway, this is my first loss. I got one win for a 2-1, or almost 2-1, and then one loss. So like this starts happening, and I'm getting FOMO. I'm like, oh, I'm missing out on the move. It's going to keep going. But I kept my composure, stayed with my plan. Like, this is not an entry during my plan. I'm not taking this. Then we start coming down, and we touch the 21. I'm like, these two candles happened quick. Like, this is a pretty big move down. And then I'm watching this candle. So as we go below the 21, then we're starting to wick. I'm like, okay, maybe this is another play. Wicked back up. We closed above the 21 and the 13, neared the 8. I took entry right here. So this was a 21 test. It was a good wick off the 21. This is in my plan. Took this entry. We come up. We hit 1-1. Again, I'm only going for 1.5 to 1R at this point because we're after 11 o'clock. Come up and hit it, and this same candle comes all the way back and stops me at break even. So I got nothing on this trade. This was my break even trade. And, you can see if I hadn't gone break even, come over to this side, it would have been a loss because we just kept coming down, dipped down, kept closing back up. We get one neutral candle for whatever reason. Then we get another buy. Now at this point, it's 1:48. My zone cuts off at 2 o'clock Eastern. 1:48. I'm actually busy at this time. I do get the alert of this signal, but I don't take it because I pretty much just came to the fact I'm going to take one win, one loss, one break even, and that's the end of my day. And of course, if I had taken this one, you can see how it was 0 drawdown and a huge win if I had taken it. But too close to the end of my kill zone. Like I said, I was preoccupied with other things. I wasn't in the right spot to trade, so I didn't take this one, which is unfortunate. A normal day where I'm not distracted, I probably would have, just because we kept holding the 21 so well through here. This technically did close below, but engulfing right back up. This would have been a good entry. And honestly, here, close to the close, this 21 test was probably a good entry. Yeah, that would have been another win. I could have had 3 wins, but I don't take trades after this time zone. So still, it was a green day. Like I said, this was 1.8 R than last one. So I got almost one full win. I made $150 on one account. So, but wasn't red. Followed my plan. Took the trades I wanted to take, and I avoided these two. I avoided 2 losses. See, if I take these 2 losses, then I'm negative $100 and almost $200. Would have been a red day, but I knew not to take these. That's the thing about this indicator. You can't take all of them. You can take all of them. You'll long-term be profitable, but the way I'm doing this, I'm learning what works, what doesn't work. I knew these 2 were not going to work, and sure enough, they did not. Working on perfecting this indicator just to get that better win percentage. So that's it for today. Not sure about news tomorrow. I don't think there's market time news. There might be 8:30 news. I'll have to check. But can't trade news anyway. That's against the rules. It'll be a breach on your account. No trading news. we've had this huge sell-off, and the signalers at High Strike keep saying we've got to have a bottom soon. We've got to be finding a bottom. Let's go to a higher time frame. Let's go on the daily. Like we actually, yeah, I remember saying a couple days ago, this is the first sell candle on the daily for BAG since September 4th of 24. So we've been on this bull run, kind of in a chop zone. And now we're breaking below here. We hit a new low yesterday. So I don't know if we're going to be bouncing here, if we're going to keep coming down to these lows. I'll have to wait and see, but I don't go into any day with bias. I don't have bias up or down, regardless of what market conditions are, what news is. I take the signals from BAG as the trend says. It's a good way to do it. Bias will hurt you in the long run. So we're on to Thursday. It's a green week so far. Like I said, I don't know about news. We'll have to check on news. But yeah, I'd love it if you'd liked and subscribed. I'm going to be putting more of these out. And I'll probably share my new rule set in a video coming up. I made a new rule set with BAG and what to do and what not to do. So be looking for that to come out later. And happy trading. Catch you another time.